Welcome to another spot in my yard and another day for learning about yourself through the Bhagavad Gita, a fabulous poem. And the translation we're using is rendered in the original meter as in the Sanskrit. Yay! Of course, that's a lovely bonus, but what does this have to do with you? Well, it's about learning just to be yourself, no matter what. Taking off those masks. Does that sound a little challenging? Yeah, being yourself. No matter what life throws at you, ups and downs, when you're about to sneeze or not about to sneeze. Oh no, sorry. We'll try not to sneeze. I don't know if I'll be successful, but yep, no. Woo. Hey, that's a Midwestern thing. Yeah, no. We say that here. Sometimes no, yeah, but mostly yeah, no. Okay. No, yeah. So today we're looking at two verses from different parts of chapter 6 on meditation, or we could call it managing the mind as well. And the first one is one we've already looked at this year. You may or may not remember. See if that happens, but it'll be in a different context. And that will be verse 24 of chapter 6. And then we will look also at verse 44. And you can, if you have any of the Song of the Soul books, you can chant along. It's the same translation in all three that we'll be using, or you can listen. So, as a quick catch up, if you haven't been watching regularly or if you have to skip days, we've been talking a bit about Arjun saying to Krishna, hey, this stuff you're teaching me about yoga sounds fabulous, but it's hard. What do I do? And this is especially ironic coming from Arjun, who's trained as a warrior his whole life and knows that mastering any skill takes time and patience. But like many of us, when it comes to our mind, it seems like we think that, oh, we should be able to flip a switch with our willpower. Sad to happy, nervous to calm. And even we see this with some stigma around mental illness. Oh, you're depressed? Just snap out of it. And nobody that I know of would say that to somebody having a heart attack. You're having a heart attack? Just snap out of it. So Arjun is kind of projecting this idea that because it's my mind, I should be able to do it real quick. And Krishna is offering Arjun some advice. So I'm sorry if I mentioned verse 24, it's verse 25 and verse 44. Verse 25 of chapter 6 and verse 44. We're kind of jumping in the middle of both of them, but I think you'll get the concepts. Krishna is saying to Arjun, slowly, slowly let that one reach the quiet of the higher mind, focused upon the inner self. Let him think of nothing at all. And verse 44. Indeed, his former practices will carry him on helplessly. The one who merely seeks to know yoga will transcend the scriptures. Such reassurance to us on this, when this is being recorded, the first day of the Olympic Games, the Summer Olympic Games in Paris. Those Olympians have dedicated their lives for years, for decades, and it didn't happen overnight. If we want to become spiritual Olympians, I mean, people that really excel in living the life, the best life that we know from the inside we should be living, we have to look at ourselves kind of like athletes in that way. Slowly, slowly. If we push ourselves, we're going to get discouraged. We might get injured. We have to have patience with ourselves. And to know that whatever practices we set up, they will carry us along. So if we set up positive thoughts and positive habits, I mean, Some of you might know this from driving home or driving to baseball games a lot. You start and you're like, oh, I need to go a different way because of construction, or I need to run an errand. And what happens is helplessly you're on the same route home and you go, now what? I was just thinking, no, I need to do something different. They carry you on. So be mindful of the habits and be patient with them, because merely striving to know, a little step toward experience, is, according to Krishna here, helpful for us when we want to transcend the verbal or written advice of others, just trying it ourselves. So to all the Olympians and all the aspiring Olympians who didn't make it, hey, my hat's off to you. And also to Kit, who's going through her Olympic journey of her own, and Deni. A wonderful email from one of you as well about, at first, well, about doing the balance practice with the recording the other day and going, oh my gosh, after 200 and some days, I can finally bring my foot to my leg instead of leaving the toes on the floor. See, it's one of those things. It'll surprise you. It'll sneak up on you. But every step you make on your spiritual path is bringing you ever closer to what you want to be, even if it's slowly. In fact, it's better if it's slowly. More slowly, oftentimes things build up, the more long-lasting they are. So shall we do some practice? Let's do our, what is this, the 218th day, I think, of our balance pose. And maybe you'll notice it's different than when I first started. Let's see. Let's switch sides. All right, let's have our contemplation. Get comfortable, whether you use a cushion, a chair, whether you stand, or whether you hang upside down like a bat. That's pretty cool. Batasana. So we'll revisit a meditative practice we just did recently, which is choose how you would like your mental state to be today. And as we sit for 5 minutes, generate that mental state, hold it as best you can. And if your mind gets distracted, bring it back to where you want the mind to be. And since we're doing this now the second time, if you remember the first time, maybe you noticed some slow but perceptible progress. We'll find out in 5. Welcome back. I always love to hear how it goes. Feel free as you come back from the practice to share any comments. I look forward to seeing you for more of this slow and dedicated practice. So once again, to all the Olympians, to Kit, to Deni for your inspiring words, and to dear number 209, who in the past 2 days has eaten many of the plants in this garden and is reminding me to be slow and patient. I salute you, and until I get to see you again,